Button's been hit.
Do not disturb is on.
But I have to disturb you. We have to record.
Ha ha ha. Ah.
Sad noises. Real pain inside.
I really did feel that when watched that movie.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that line is a little too true.
Oh. Stings.
Fake laugh. Real pain. Do that all the time.
Yeah, especially when Peter Parker was just like, remember that really old space movie with the walking things? I was like, oh my gosh.
He's describing Star Wars. And he called it really old.
Yeah, and it's not like I was alive when the movie came out, but still. It's weird.
You do realize one day...
Oh no, don't say it.
If we, do have children...
Don't say it.
And they turn like 12 or whatever, they're going to go, hey, remember that really old movie where Thanos snapped everyone? And we're going to be like, oh, gosh, my heart.
I really do hope that when I do have children, that I will be able to introduce it to them at a younger age, obviously when they're older enough to appreciate it, but not too old. When they're 13, they're going to be very well versed.
Sure. I just picked a random number, obviously, but yes.
True, but I'm just like, ooh.
Here's the thing, though. Like, even if they're not competent enough to know what's going on, I feel like I'll still have it on in the background for them. Just because this is exactly what worked on me. So the whole reason why I love Back to the Future is because when I was like 1 or 2 years old, my sister and my brother, whenever my mom and dad would like go out to the grocery store or whatever, and they're like, hey, watch your child brother, they would throw on either Back to the Future or Terminator 2. And this is why these movies are like ingrained in my head, because I've been watching them since I was like 2 years old.
Yeah.
And I will watch them anytime.
I will continue to watch
these films.
Greetings and welcome to our show, Fresh Game Context. Here we discuss insightful views on a routine bi-weekly basis of the incredibly nerdy things we can't stop talking about. To take you on this dorky ride are your host, Josh.
This is the part where I say something witty, but I got nothing. So please continue, Jace.
And myself, Jason. Why don't you take a seat, sit back, relax. We're here to do all the heavy lifting. It is about to get nerdy. This is episode 94.
This is the update episode.
On
life here on Earth. It's still not normal.
As of this recording, we are at 155 days of the pandemic. Our country has announced the pandemic status, changing pretty much how we do everything here and virtually everywhere on planet Earth. So that's approximately 5 months.
What did Oprah say?
She says a lot of things.
She says it takes 30 days to make it a habit.
Yeah. 90 days to make it a lifestyle.
So 155 days. This is it. This is it, guys. Welcome to your new life.
Yeah. On the myriad of things to talk about, AMC Theaters is actually one of them.
Yeah, they're opening now.
Yeah, so how does that work?
You go to the theater, you sit down, you watch a movie.
No, that's how we used to do things.
Oh.
I'm talking about how do we do things now.
Right. New life. Okay. So basically, you go to the theater where they're wiping everything down every second of every day. You wear a mask.
Absolutely correct.
And they give extra time in between showings so they can clean more thoroughly. And then, you enjoy your movie with 30% less seating area because they don't want people standing on top of each other like they did before. And, you enjoy your film.
I have questions as I always do,
I'm sure
I just need to
most
know.
people have most questions.
I just want to know, what is this going to look like for people? Like, how are you? What is the average person going to look like going to theaters? What is a family going to a theater going to look like? What is a date going to look like going to the theater? I just like, there's just so many things. Like, I know how it's supposed to work normally, and I know how it's supposed to work with COVID-19 changes. I just can't see it. I can't visualize it.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be extremely different, obviously. It's going to be a big change. It's going to be a lot of these things. And I don't know. And I know we had a side conversation about this before we started the episode. And, we were talking about it opening and, all this stuff. And, as a normal person would be, you were like, yeah, I just don't know if I would want to, go back like this early or anything like that, right?
Right.
And me being very naive and dumb that I am, I was immediately like, I miss movie theaters. I want to go.
Right.
And like, I will, wear my mask. I will do all this stuff. And I have no problem being the one to go to this experience and then let everyone know exactly how it goes. Like, I will absolutely be a guinea pig. And the reason I will be a guinea pig is because to a lot of people, movies are, an escape, right? They're just dumb things. But like, I really just like going to a theater, even if it's by myself. And I've gone to a bunch of movies by myself. And I enjoy it because it's fun for me. So like, I'll go to a theater by myself, watch a 2-hour or hour and a half movie, whatever it was that I was watching at the time, and just enjoy myself. So, and I miss that. I miss that experience. Now, obviously, this experience will be completely different from before, because there's a lot of these new rules and a lot of these new things for the better, right? To keep everyone as safe as possible. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just, I want to go back just to experience it and see how it is.
Right. And I mean, for the most part, and I don't mean this to come from a place of me being, negative or depressing, but I mean, I'm imagining this is how it's going to be for the foreseeable future.
Oh, more than likely.
I mean, this is going to be it. So how do we adjust at this point? I don't think it's going to be a matter of when do we get back to normal, because I think we're past that point at this junction in time.
Yeah, you almost said point twice.
I don't know, man. It's going to be strange, because with this announcement, Tenet will be coming out in September. Mm-hmm. New Mutants is coming out on the 28th of August
of this month.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
I'm fascinated right now.
Exactly.
So.
And I mean,
Who knows?
And in all honesty, I will probably be there that weekend that it opens, and I will probably go watch New Mutants in theaters.
Now, I heard, so on the website you can go check for yourselves, amctheaters.com. Mm-hmm. There's lots of changes that that they've been making. Cashless transactions. I'm always been a big fan of cashless transactions.
Yes.
Less reasons for me to touch things that other people are touching.
Yep.
Simplified menu options, less options, just pick and go. Yep. Social distancing standards, which some people have been able to do this more effectively than others. Some people put barriers. Some people put like things in between you to maintain that. Mm-hmm. Some people just put stickers on the floor, and sometimes stickers aren't enough.
Right.
Primarily because everyone is just used to standing on top of one another. That's usually how life kind of works. But when it comes to, reduced auditorium capacities, I'm imagining they're just going to put things on the chair that'll just block it. Again, some are more effective than others, because if you just put a piece of tape with an X on the chair, somebody's going to sit down there.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But if you put something over the chair itself, which they have the ability to do, I believe I've seen something like that before in the past when the chair is not working. They just put something physically over the seat that prevents you from sitting there. That can help. And obviously, it's going to be much easier if you are buying a ticket and it's assigned seating. So there's no confusion. Like, I sit here, you don't sit here. We need to get an usher involved. We'll take it from there.
Yeah.
But masks. We always talk about masks pretty much every single episode. And when this whole thing started,
You have to.
they will be selling masks. I'm curious to see what the upcharge is going to be. Like, are they going to bring the prices down for concessions and raise the cost for masks and just put like an AMC logo on it? I really want to know.
Maybe. I mean, I feel like if you're going to the theater, you already know, or at least you would think that you would already have a mask. Like I have the mask that I have is like a Spider-Man one, obviously.
Obviously.
So like that's the one that I've been using like everywhere. Like I'll wash it and then just use it. So I personally don't have to buy a mask, but yeah, I mean that'd be cool if they had something like that.
Yeah.
But for it, it's hard to imagine something costing more than a popcorn did. Like popcorn was like $10. So are they going to charge me $5 for a popcorn and $12 for a mask now? That'd be weird.
Different times, different measures.
But then that's good for me because if I already have a mask, then I only have to pay $5 for a popcorn.
Right. Or I can just bring in my own snack because I want to practice good hygiene and I don't trust anything.
I mean, you could do that.
I could do that, but I don't know if I will. I don't know. Like, I'm interested in going, obviously. Don't give yourself up. I do want to see New Mutants. I do want to see exactly how this looks. I don't know if I'm going to be there opening day. But I do know this one very last thing before we start moving on to our next topic is one day only. They have this thing where movies in 2020 at 1920 prices. Now, I had heard about this from Noah. He mentioned this to both of us, actually.
Yes.
It says here, celebrate a century of movies at AMC with 15 cents plus tax tickets to any movie on Thursday, August 20th. Hurry and get your tickets online before they sell out.
Yeah.
I don't know how this is working. Like, what is that?
So that one I may not go to.
I just don't like. Are people going to buy it? I wonder.
Yeah. So that one I feel like might be a huge flock of people because it's 15 cents. I miss the theater. I don't know if I'll be going to that though. Once regular movies start coming back out, then I'll go. But yeah, that initial like Wave Fest, I feel like is going to be huge. So I personally don't want to go to that, but I will start going after the fact.
I will say this, as much as I want to, I just checked the theaters over by me, and they are closed, so that was completely out of the question for me anyway.
You know what? I haven't even checked my local theater.
Yeah, they're all closed.
But, what did they say that they're opening? Can we double check the email, please?
I don't have the email here. I just went to the website.
Oh, I just opened the app, and literally the first thing they do is tell you. So many of our theaters will open doors on August 20th. So what is that? As of this recording, that is in 5 days.
Okay, we'll see. We'll give a post on our Twitter, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. But when we do return. If I go, if Jace goes, if we both end up going, if only I end up going, we will tell you the experience. So if you are too
more
afraid,
than happy to do it.
Well, I shouldn't say if you're too afraid. If you are not willing to participate, I guess sounds better, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say I don't want to say if you're too afraid because that sounds like I'm bashing you or something. That sounds like I'm being rude, so I don't want to say that.
No, I mean, but I think it's important to address it at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't think you're coming from a place of being mean spirited.
Yeah.
There is a level of fear that I think everyone has to address here. Like, are we going to live in a hole forever, or are we going to make adjustments? Because I think if we follow the guidelines as given by, companies, corporations, local, state, regulations, we can ask for changes once everybody is on board and does the same thing.
Right.
I think if you just say, I don't want to do this, or you're on the flip side of that and you say, I don't want to do this, then we can never really get enough data in order for us to improve the experience, if that makes sense.
No, for sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah. But, once they open up, we got a nice lineup. I'm just looking here at the app really quickly. We got New Mutants the 28th. We have Tenet on the 3rd of September. Then we got Wonder Woman in October the 2nd. We have Black Widow November 6th. We have 007, No Time to Die, November 20th.
Let's hope.
Yep. And then, they got a bunch of classic movies and stuff like that. But there is one movie that we will not be watching in theaters.
And that is?
That would be Miss Mulan.
Yes, that's right. I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because that has been... So here's what happened. Disney has decided to pull the theatrical release from that one.
Correct.
It will not be releasing anywhere in theaters. It will now become an exclusive to Disney Plus, which is interesting because a lot of people have been asking for Disney to do this. As you and I and everyone who has listened to the show knows, Artemis Fowl was supposed to be a theatrical release, but it was very quickly pulled from the theater schedule and released on Disney Plus. And it was very simple. I mean, if you had an existing membership, or if you just felt like watching it for the month, you could sign up for the month, watch it, and then when you're done, you're just done.
Yep.
So this is going to be slightly different.
Ever so
and the reason, yeah. So what are your thoughts on this? Because I think we all received the email, and we were all very interested in seeing what this is going to look like.
Yeah.
Disney Plus has announced something called Disney Premier Access.
Yep.
And with Disney Premier Access, it is an in-service purchase that you can make for a specific movie. In this instance, it's going to be Mulan. And once you pay for this, the specific dollar amount, which specifically for this movie is going to be $30, you will be able to watch it as many times as you feel like it before it will be coming to Disney Plus. So
like
kind of like an early, pretty much like a early access to the service for a specific movie release.
Yep.
I'm curious, what are your thoughts on this?
So, at first, I was a little like taken back because the first thing you hear is $30, and you're just like, wait, I'm already paying for this service, and then you want me to pay an additional $30 to watch this film. And then I thought about it a little bit more, and it is ever so slightly cheaper for families to do this than it would be for individuals. But I'm still not 100% okay with it. But I've accepted it at this point.
Right. And I think it's important to note this because, so like realistically speaking, if this pandemic didn't happen, we would be seeing this in theaters for what? Approximately $20. You figure with ticket, premium, IMAX, talk about gas included, potential snacks, looking at approximately $20. So I think that's a reasonable, depending on what area you're in, averaging $20, right?
Yeah.
So you do that, you watch it. If you like it again, you spend like another $20. But if you like the movie, you're going to either buy it for yourself, which usually averages $30, or
You get the Blu-ray.
you're going to do it for, Blu-ray, maybe a little bit more than that. Or you can say, forget all that. I don't wish to own it. I just kind of want to have it, accessible on Disney Plus because you know that it will be coming on that, service eventually. Then you just wait for that to come to your service, and then you can watch it as many times as you feel like it.
Right.
So the question is, if you spend $20 once, and then you're waiting for it to come on the streaming service, then is $30 justifiable? Well, I have been doing a lot of thinking about this, and really what it boils down to is the budget that was involved, and what was the target audience, what were they hoping to make on return? Sure. Because we don't live in a bubble. Movies aren't just made for casual consumption. You make a movie, a blockbuster movie like Aladdin or Lion King. They're doing this for a reason.
Yeah.
Not only is it for the movie makers to make a film that really connects with a new audience, but it's also there to be profitable so they can continue to do it again.
Sure.
So when you have something like Disney Plus, where you have millions of people that are just subscribing to the service monthly, sure, there's revenue, but how much money was going into that initial product? So how is Artemis Fowl able to do this with no premiere access price? And how is Mulan not able to go into that? I think it has a lot to do with the budget, to be very honest with you. And I'm curious to see, ultimately what happens at the end of it all. I mean, I'm hoping that price point of $30 per movie stays the same. Because if I think something is worth it, like let's say for instance, Black Widow, I think this was a point of contention for many people. People just wanted Black Widow to be released, essentially on the service without any extra, payment other than the subscription or, monthly access. If that is $30 as well, I'd be willing to do that.
Sure.
I'd be absolutely willing to do that. But anything more than $30, I think would be like pushing it.
And just to give you guys a little idea, Artemis's Fowl budget, according to Wikipedia, well, I just Googled it and it's like the first thing that pops up, was $125 million. And Mulan's was 200. Now, that is, I don't believe that is also including marketing.
Right.
Which the marketing for Mulan was a lot bigger than Artemis Fowl.
Oh my gosh. And I think, when you're talking about a movie like this, and timing is very important, and timing is everything.
Yeah.
I believe this movie is at a point where there's just certain funds that were spent that are just going to be unrecoverable.
Right.
So, clearly this is not something that is just a one-off. Clearly this is now a system in place. Pandemic pending. I don't know if that's like a word that people are using, but pandemic pending, if this has to happen with another large-scale movie, then this system can be put in place. But as much as I'm, I guess, okay with the system, because I'd like to see exactly how this works, and obviously the process of getting this done is also very important, because if it's hard for me to get my money out to Disney because I'm interested in doing this, then I'm not going to want to do this in the future. But at the end of the day, if they're not making more movies, then all of this is nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Like, they want to get this out. They want to be able to recoup, the funds that were put into making this movie. But we're not filming anything. And there's just, I'm telling you, 5 months is significant. It's a significant amount of time that's being spent right now where people aren't really working in the entertainment industry.
Right.
People are able to make music because they have home studios. That's great. People are able to stay safe, and they're able to put music about their time in this pandemic space. But movies are a little different. You need to be out there communicating with people, you really can't be socially distant when you are making movies.
Right. It's a lot more involved.
A lot more involved, absolutely.
But that being said, we're probably going to do it, right?
I'm interested. I mean, we were going to review this movie when it came out in March, but it did not happen. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. It did not happen at all.
So this is our chance now. So we're definitely going to do it.
This is our chance.
So, hey, if you guys out there don't want to do it, just listen to us and we'll tell you about it. And we'll tell you if it was worth it or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there is one more Disney movie that we would like to talk about.
Absolutely.
One that I feel like you're excited for?
I am excited for it.
Cool, why don't you tell me about it?
I will tell you about it right after these messages. So yeah, we're back, and so there's a movie that's coming out. I'm pretty sure I've made it very known that there is one specific Disney movie that I've been a fan of since I was a kid. I never had access to it. I was able to watch a part of it because we rented it, but I wasn't able to watch all of it. Who knows what the reason was? But when I saw it, I really loved it. And that movie was Tron. And Tron came out in the 80s. Like I said, I rented it when, way past the theatrical release, because that's how we were able to watch movies at that time. And I just remember it. It was this weird, kind of cool movie that just really, resonated with me. So then the sequel comes out. I believe that movie came out in 2010. And I was nothing but excited for this movie. I had been waiting for Disney. Disney had been releasing a lot of, older movies like Maleficent and, that was pretty much a trend with Disney. So them remaking Tron or continuing Tron was obviously exciting for me. Jeff Bridges is coming back. Daft Punk is doing the musical score. It looks updated for the time, which was 2010, which is now a decade ago. And I don't know if you've seen it. If anyone here has seen it, I love this movie. I absolutely love this movie. I can criticize it. I can see its flaws, but that doesn't make it any less amazing.
Sure.
And sometimes I just want to watch things because it's visually pleasing to the eye.
Yeah.
I mean, clean lines, the light strokes that they have, the light cycles. I mean, it's just a great visual, aesthetically pleasing movie.
Yeah.
So when that movie was released, I saw it in theaters. I loved it. I ended up getting the film, which had Tron and the new sequel that came out. I was very excited for all of this. Then nothing, like complete radio silence, and when the next movie was going to be coming out. Something happens with Disney, specifically with Tron, where they it's strange. They like it, but they don't like it. They don't continue it the way they do for other franchises. Like when it comes to Pirates of the Caribbean, yeah, they make those movies easily. But when it comes to Tron, it's a little bit different. Tron Legacy, I guess didn't really settle well with other people. This is why it's been so long for another movie to come out. But what I will say is that Jared Leto has been attached for a new project for a while now, but now they actually have new information about a director. A director has now been attached.
Yep.
What is his name? Do you know his name?
Yes, his name is Garth Davis.
Garth Davis.
He directed a film called Lion, which I did not watch. However, this is from Deadline. Sorry, for whatever reason, the name. I was reading the name and it just escaped me. But after taking its time figuring out where it wants to take next Tron film installment to go, Disney sci-fi franchise looks to have new life, as we are hearing Gareth Davis has been tapped to direct the picture starring Jared Leto. Davis has been better known for his smaller art house films over the years, like 2018's Mary Magdalene and his critically acclaimed 2016 drama Lion, which received 6 Oscar nominations, including for Best Picture. So this would be his first tentpole film. He's not known for big budget projects. Insiders say Davis aggressively pursued the job, eventually winning over execs. So if that's to be, believed, he must have, a passion for Tron and Tron Legacy and for that world. So it looks like he gave his pitch, and Disney was like, "All right, it's you." So and it's I always like it whenever a director that isn't making big budget films gets tapped for one, because it can go both ways, right? It can go a way that, okay, well, this guy, he doesn't make big budget films, so we can probably, tell him to do things and he'll do it. But it could also be the other way, where it could go like, all right, he doesn't make big budget films, but here's his chance, and he can bring some creativity and he can bring in some things that maybe we don't see. And that's the side that I'm hoping for. I have seen both Tron films, and I'm not a huge fan of Tron. Like those aren't films that I will go back to and watch on the regular. However, whenever I do watch them, or if I see the Tron world, for example, like in Kingdom Hearts or in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, I just like you, it looks aesthetically pleasing. I like the universe that it's in, that it encompasses. And I do like, just, I guess, the lore that goes with that entire world. So I love the world more than I love the films, I should say, probably. That being said, I will absolutely, probably, more than likely, I know I said like 5 different things there, go watch this when it does come out. Because I am interested.
Yeah. So you said his name was Garrett Davis or Garth Davis?
Garth Davis. I may have said Gareth by accident.
And that confused me because I know Garrett Hedlund was the headliner for Tron Legacy, the sequel to Tron. Yeah. So
that was my bad.
When you said Garth Davis. I was just like, I was just confused. I was like, is Garrett coming back? Because I liked him in the movie. Yeah. I know Jeff Bridges isn't coming back because, spoiler alert, he did. He did. So
hopefully they won't make his face CG again.
I liked it. I don't care what anybody says. I really liked it.
It was the building blocks for what was to come down the line. Was it the first movie to do that? Did we discuss this, didn't we?
We absolutely discussed this. I think it's definitely not the first step. I think it was like a step.
Yeah.
Definitely in the right direction. Like I said, I see it. I've seen it multiple times. Yeah. I still like it. It's still an amazing film. But the director for Tron Legacy was done by Joseph Kosinski. He is a filmmaker, but he very much, what's the word I'm looking for? Specializes in engineering. So the fact that they picked this person who was very much into design and engineering worked out very well in translating this new digital landscape for 2010 and beyond. So, I like Jared Leto. Is it Leto or Leto?
I say Leto.
Kind of like it's I guess flexible for me. I want to make sure I'm saying the name correctly. Yeah. But I always like him in everything that he does. Fight Club Forever. I'm just saying that movie. Yeah, that's another one of my favorites. But yeah, that's the new Tron movie. And we also don't know exactly how it's going to be released. Will this be a Disney Plus exclusive? Will they be going to theaters? I would like it for it to be in theaters.
It'd be nice. Because I would like to see those visuals on a very large screen.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, when that was in theaters, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I feel like there is one thing that we can both agree on, though.
What's that?
Daft Punk has to make another album.
Oh, yeah. So I'm pretty sure they've already been tapped to do it. I don't know if it's official, but here's hoping.
I'm hoping that is official, because if there is one thing about Tron Legacy that everyone can agree on, that soundtrack was bumping.
Yeah, I don't think you know how much of a Daft Punk fan I actually am. Like,
I have an idea.
I am a super fan.
I have an idea.
I have all the albums. And I missed Alive 2007 by that much. You can't see anybody who's listening, but my fingers are really close to it. Like, I was there. but I didn't see them. So that was my fault.
It's okay. One day when we make a time machine out of a DeLorean, we can go back to that time.
Or it could be, like a phone booth.
Wait, what if you were there, but you didn't know that because you hadn't invented the time machine yet?
Ooh,
but
now you're getting...
Wait.
Yeah. Okay.
You are Daft Punk.
Oh, no. Oh, no. No. And with that, I think we're moving on. Let's not go there. Let's go to the next topic. But before we do that, we're going to take yet another break. And we're back. So the next topic that we're going to be talking about in this episode is Halo. I'm going to leave that to you.
Hello. Hi. It's me. So Halo. We talked about it on the last episode because...
We sure did.
We talked about the Xbox Showcase and...
Yep.
We may not have Xboxes, but I got this little PC right here and I play Halo, so we're going to talk about more Halo because they just dropped something huge earlier this week, and that is Halo Infinite, which was supposed to be more than likely going to be a launch title for the Xbox Series X, and was supposed to come out this holiday season, has been delayed to 2021.
Wait.
So as of this moment, we don't know what the killer app will be for the Xbox Series X. But in bigger news, I won't be able to play this game now. No. So yeah, the reason that the game has been delayed is because 343 needed a little bit more time to get the game up to better quality, as they are saying. Context. When the trailer dropped for Halo Infinite during the Xbox Series Showcase, they opened their conference with that, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot of the community was not happy with the way the game looked in terms of graphical fidelity. A lot of people...
And what's 343?
343 is the developer of the Halo franchise. They took it over from Bungie after Halo Reach. So Bungie did the original trilogy of Halo games as well as Halo Reach, which is a prequel to the trilogy. And then starting with Halo 4, 343 Industries has taken over the Halo franchise. So they've done Halo 4, Halo 5, now Halo Infinite, as well as the Master Chief Collection, which is the first 5 games bundled into one. But yes, so the community was not happy with the way the game looked, and I'm more than likely sure that is part of the reason for the delay. To kind of address fan feedback, we'll say. Which, to me, in all honesty, I personally didn't feel like it looked that bad. If you kind of look up screenshots of it, yes, there are some screenshots here and there that don't look flattering. But at the same time, if you take a screenshot of a game, that doesn't always mean that that's exactly how it's going to, look when you see it in motion, right?
Yeah.
That's always that's always the thing that I bring up. I'm like, yeah, it may look bad in that one single frame that you just took, but when you see it going through motions, it probably looks a lot better than that.
And I think we just discussed this just recently when it comes to a game that I think you and I are both now very excited in seeing what the final product is going to look like. Avengers game.
Yeah.
When that was first announced, it was a cinematic tease. We didn't see any characters. We just kind of knew who might be in it. But then when they actually first showed the gameplay, not the gameplay trailer, but the trailer that showed gameplay, if that makes sense. Yeah. So that looked pretty bad. I'm just going to say that right now. It looked pretty abysmal. But now the most recent trailer that just came out, man, it looks good. And I'm seeing actual footage of people playing the beta right now. I'm interested. I'm very, very interested. So I think this goes in line with what you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But again, I didn't think it looked that bad. However, for a lot of people, this game was supposed to be like, okay, you guys have been telling us that the Series X is going to be the most powerful console that you can purchase, right? And the game doesn't looks like something that could be run on a current generation. So I guess I can kind of see that point of view. Like if you're saying to me that this is going to be the most powerful thing in the world, however, it looks like it's something that I could have bought last year, then fine. I kind of get that. But to me, honestly, the backlash was probably a little too harsh on 343.
Isn't it always?
Oh no, I mean it's the internet. It's always going to be harsher than it needs to be with any fandom, right?
Right.
But at the same time, that does show you. I mean, it can show you that they care, right? That they're like, hey, we want you to put the most effort that you can into something that we love to consume and things like that. There is a limit, however.
Of course.
It's like there can be, criticism, like constructive criticism, be like, okay, maybe you guys can make this look a little bit better, blah, blah, blah. If you can see that other developers have made sacrifices to make graphics look better and all that stuff. And then there's just like screaming at the top of your lungs saying, what is wrong with you? Why can't you make this look good? Right?
Right.
There's a difference.
Right.
So fandoms are weird, but at the end of the day, it's whatever. I just hope that, 343 takes this time, makes the game that they want to make, makes it, up to their quality of standard. And hopefully I'll be able to play it soon because I really want to play it.
I feel like a lot of people who are really looking forward to the new Xbox is looking forward to this, but who knows at this point?
Exactly. But now the question is, right, like, so this was supposed to be their killer app during launch, right? And a lot of people were waiting to get a Series X for Halo. So what does that look like for them at launch now? It's like, do they lose like a good amount of people because now they're going to wait for Halo to come out? Or, what does that do for their launch titles now?
So, I mean, we talked about this in our previous episode for video games and video game consoles. Yeah. Your launch has to be very well orchestrated.
Yes. Because
if it's not orchestrated well, you lose that initial rush, which is in the video game landscape. It has to be done in a very specific way, because if it's not, you will lose steam, and it's hard to build that back up. Yep. Case in point, Sega. I mean, you and I are both very big fans of Sega. I had the console. Did you have any of the previous Sega consoles?
So I did not personally have any Sega consoles. However, I had cousins who did.
Right.
So if I wanted to play Sonic, I went to their place.
Right. So there was Sega Genesis. There was, after that,
Saturn
and the Dreamcast.
There was also the CD attachment, or the Mega Drive attachment.
Well, let's not go there. Let's just forget that ever happened, and we're moving along.
We got Sonic CD from it.
True. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying we're just not mentioning that CD. So, with that being said, the last system that came out was the Dreamcast, and while it does hold a very special place in everybody's heart, it clearly wasn't launched correctly.
Correct.
So imagine a console that was released with no games for it. It would upset people who are selling their system, because they have some skin in the game. They clearly want to make some money selling the system. Why would you sell a system without any games for it?
Right.
So there was some serious backlash. And, we see this backlash. It's happening with Universal. Within the last 5 months, we see what happens when, something inside the community with businesses are concerned. If it's not well received, people will fight back, and they'll fight back, in very loud, outlandish ways. So, with the toy stores at that time, Toys R Us, KB Toy Store, they all were very public in their statements saying, we're not selling the system. I have no desire to sell the system.
Right.
Because who wants to have that inventory? Would you want to sell a system that has no games for it? I mean,
nope.
It's just taking up space in your warehouse, not doing anything. So the Dreamcast suffered, and it was never able to really pick up that steam again. And that was the last console that they made.
Yep.
Botched launch. I'm concerned. Xbox Series X. If Halo, which is the marquee name, which Halo is synonymous for, is not being launched until next year, concerned. This concerned. I'm not even a fan of Halo because I've never played it, but I know its importance.
Yeah, no, it's a big milestone for first-person shooters and console gaming in general for when it comes to first-person shooters.
Yeah,
it's an essential game, I feel, in the history of gaming.
Yeah,
but there was good news with this. However, though, little tidbit here. Along with the announcement that Halo was delayed, they did also announce that the Xbox Series X will be coming out in November.
Okay.
So we don't have an exact date, but now we have a window. We have a month.
There we go.
Now we just need Sony to reveal theirs, and then the price.
And we are. I mean, at this point, I'm prepared. Whatever it's going to be, I already know that I'm going to be getting Spider-Man. I already know that I'm going to be getting the Avengers game as well. So let's bring it on. Let's do it.
But there's one more game that we may be looking forward to.
Yeah? What is that?
Well, guess what? You're going to have to find out after these messages.
Oh, messages. And we're back, and I really want to know this game. Please tell me this game.
Yeah.
What is this game?
So, Jace.
Yes.
You've played the Batman games before, right?
Are you kidding me? Big fan. Super fan.
So, Rocksteady has a very good track record of making games.
They're making a new game
the last 3 Arkham games.
Yep.
That trilogy. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Hard to platinum, I feel, but a lot of fun. God, those challenges. Anyway, we've been anxiously waiting for Rocksteady's next game. And there have been a lot of rumors. There have been a lot of speculation. I was hoping it would be a Superman-type game. Anyway, they put out a tweet about, what was this now, a week ago, week and a half ago, since we're recording this?
So I noticed this always happens after we finish recording. Yep. So when we post this is when all the news is going to come out. I think we should flip the week. So, you know what I mean? We'll do it on the off weeks where the news comes in, and then we'll have something to, whatever. I'm getting off topic. Please continue.
Anyway, pretty much after we posted our last episode, Rocksteady tweeted a single image. Well, I mean, it was a little bit more, but it was an image of Superman looking backwards with well, kind of to his side, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's better.
To his side. Looking to his side. You can kind of see red in his eyes. Either he's A, possessed by something, or B, he's getting ready to shoot lasers, whatever. And then on his head is a target. Crosshairs. With Suicide Squad.
So let's be a little bit more definitive, and we obviously put this in the show notes so you can see what it is that we are talking about. It's a crosshairs, but the crosshair, the actual lines, are letters, and it says Suicide Squad. Yep. In a fashion of an X.
Yeah. So Rocksteady's next game is a Suicide Squad game. I believe it's going to be called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, if I'm not mistaken.
Got it.
So we don't know anything about this game yet. It was literally just announced. However, they did say tune in to DC Fandom on August 22nd to learn more. They will have an event there. I want to say their event is 10:30 Pacific time. So I think that's 1:30 Eastern if you're in the Eastern Coast, where we can learn a lot more about this game. But what are you thinking? What were you thinking when you saw this tweet from Rocksteady?
Excited because it's Rocksteady, but general questions about what this game is actually going to look and do and feel like.
Yeah.
Because it's Suicide Squad, which is interesting because the one movie, which is its claim to fame, isn't really something that people really like. So is this something that James Gunn's new movie has something to be a little bit of a part of? Not even directly influencing, but perhaps influenced by. There seems to be a push for Suicide Squad with this new game. So
I mean, I think so. Hold on. When did Arkham Knight finally release? Was that 2015?
Ooh, yeah, probably. I'm gonna say yes.
So, and then when did Suicide Squad come out as a movie? Was that also 2015 or was that 2014?
So Arkham Knight did come out in 2015,
Right.
and
Because it was delayed by a year.
That's right. I remember that. I was very upset.
And then the
Suicide Squad came in 2016.
Right. Really? Came out the same year as a BVS? Batman v Superman?
Yes.
Oh, that's right, because Batman v Superman was also delayed.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That makes more sense. We did talk about this whole delay business before. Anyway, so I don't think it had anything to do with James Gunn, because if this game came out in 2015, or if Arkham Knight, came out in 2015, they probably already started doing concepts around that time. Especially if the game was delayed a year. They probably had a team working on finishing Arkham Knight while another section of the team was starting to do concepts for their next game. And in Arkham Knight, there are a lot of references throughout the game about other DC characters, about Flash, about Superman, about Wonder Woman. There's a few in the Gotham area, like the last section of that game where I remember vividly there were Easter eggs for that.
Well,
so I don't think it has anything to do with James Gunn's Suicide Squad.
No, but it is interesting how all of the Suicide Squad, like, I don't know, growing up, I remember the comic books, I remember the TV show. Suicide Squad was not really that prevalent.
No,
it was there.
And Suicide Squad has never been a team that everyone's like, oh, if you could think of the top DC team, team up or whatever, everyone immediately says Justice League, right? Nobody says Suicide Squad. And just like pre-Guardians of the Galaxy movie, everyone's like, oh, what's the best team in Marvel? Everyone would say Avengers, right? They wouldn't say Guardians of the Galaxy.
They would not.
Right?
They definitely would not say the Avengers.
Well, but you get the point, right? They'll probably say X-Men.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's better.
They'll say X-Men because that was a bigger team. For whatever reason, I don't think of X-Men as a team. I don't know why, but I know they are.
But they are.
They absolutely are. But I don't think of them as like a team. I just think of them as one thing. I don't know. Anyway, you got the point.
Yeah, I do.
So
nobody
nobody really knew about Suicide Squad in that way. But they did have some cool, like you said, some cool shows and stuff like that. They had Suicide Squad: Assault on Arkham, that animated film, which was really good, by the way.
It is.
It's really, really good. So for Rocksteady to do this, I feel like they must have a really cool concept. And in all honesty, if there's crosshairs on Superman and you have to fight or hunt down Superman, I'm intrigued. Because I know Superman's OP as hell. We both know this. We've discussed this to death already.
We sure have.
So what can the Suicide Squad really do to Superman? I am interested in that.
I'll be honest with you. I love the Arkham, games, obviously. When Arkham Knight came out, I didn't get it at launch because I didn't have the system. But when I did get the system, that was one of the games that I wanted to try first because I was very excited to see where the story was going after that. The game didn't bother me as much as other people. I knew where it was going to go, but I did see that they were talking a lot about other characters in the Justice League. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, that'd be really cool. Like after Batman's done, they just moved to Justice League. Yeah. So in my mind, I'm thinking, I get to play as Flash, made by Rocksteady. I get to play as Superman, made by Rocksteady. We'd finally get like Superman in a game where you could do all Superman things. Right. And it would be fun. Yeah. Right? It wouldn't be like a bore where you're just flying through circles. Man, that's just a terrible time in video game history. Let's not go there.
Don't forget Superman Returns. That wonderful game.
Ooh. Anyways, I was hoping in my fan head that Rocksteady would just have a game dedicated to Justice League, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Superman, Flash, Green Lantern. Like, that would be a solid roster. And Batman, where you wouldn't have to really pare down that character in terms of scope because you've been perfecting him for 3 full games. Right. So, like, yes, please give me the Justice League game. And I didn't say this to anybody. I was just saying, like, all right, I trust them. So now they make this announcement and it's going to be Suicide Squad. That's where I'm like, okay, I'm intrigued. I want to hear more, but I really wanted the Justice League game.
Well, I mean, remember, if the full title is, Suicide Squad kill the Justice League, who's to say that they don't do a switch in the middle, right? Where it's like, cool, you start off, you're hunting them, blah, blah, blah. By the way, midway through the game, now you're the Justice League, and now you're trying to defend yourself from the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. So I don't mind that. I'll be very honest with you. I don't mind that, but now I'm getting like flashbacks to Last of Us Part 2.
And that's what I was referencing, yes.
It's a big ask.
Yeah.
Big ask.
And we're just throwing things out there. We don't know. I
mean, look, I get it, but it's okay for you to do Switch. And who knows, maybe on a console, something like a character switch would make more sense because you have more, I guess, literal space on a disc to really allow for that to happen.
Yeah.
But I kind of just like the old, boring, way that games and movies used to work, where you just stick with one character.
Yeah.
I don't think that's too much to ask for. But again, there's not enough known here.
Right. It's literally one image, and that's it.
It's one image, right. And so
I did make a mistake before, by the way, so I apologize.
What was that?
So I said that the panel would be at 10:30 in the morning Pacific. I was actually looking at the wrong game. So there's actually 2 games that we are looking forward to, or at least I am. The first game is from Rocksteady, of course, that we've just been talking about for the Suicide Squad game. That panel is actually going to be on the 22nd at 5 Pacific time.
Gotcha.
But the one that I was looking at for the 10:30 a.m. Pacific was actually for Warner Brothers Montreal, who is said to be having their Batman game announced. So we may be getting 2 games to talk about next week.
Which might or may not be... what's the word I'm looking for? Exclusive to Xbox, because there was word on that. Which,
there were some rumors,
look,
yeah.
I get it why they would do that, and if they do, whatever. I don't believe that something that would be exclusive to Xbox would remain that way, simply because, I mean, if they're concerned that Xbox may not have a launch title and that system may not play out very well financially, I don't really know if you want to have a big marquee character like that on an exclusive system that's not selling well. Like, ooh.
I mean,
just be careful.
I mean, Batman's huge, dude.
I get it, but to compare that to Spider-Man, like, everyone is the rumors are coming up because this is what's happening with Spider-Man.
Well, yeah.
But, like, I don't think you can make that comparison because Spider-Man is a very special character for lots of different reasons. He's, like, the most popular superhero on the planet.
Not wrong.
And he's owned by Sony. Like, this character is the only character on planet Earth that falls under this criteria. The only one. So, like, Sony can do these things where they can make cinematic movies. They own that character right now. For Microsoft to say, like, yeah, we're going to buy Warner Brothers so we can have Batman be exclusive, that's like reverse engineering it. Now, if Microsoft said we're buying, Batman the character, then then it would make more sense to me why they're doing that. But if they're just making it exclusive to compete with Spider-Man, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah, you never know. Either way, it doesn't affect me. You know why?
Because you got the PC.
Exactly.
I know.
So if they
comes
out on
not
Xbox,
getting a PC?
I got my PC, so we're good.
Yeah, I'm still not doing that.
You wouldn't do that for Batman?
No.
Would you do that? Would you do that for Spider-Man? If one day.
For PC?
Yeah.
No.
Interesting.
I still wouldn't do that. I would do that. I don't think that even if they do announce that Batman is going to be exclusive to like PC or Xbox or whatever, I don't believe that it's going to be that way for long. Because like Kingdom Hearts isn't...
It'd probably be a timed exclusive.
Exactly. Just like Kingdom Hearts, which should be coming out next year for Xbox, if I think about it.
It's already out.
For Xbox?
Yeah. All of them are out. Yeah.
No. 3.
Yeah, three's been out.
For Xbox?
Yeah, 3 came out at the same time as PlayStation 4.
See, this is... Do you see, like, I'm completely out of the loop. Yeah. I didn't even know that. So, I would wait. Like, I don't think it would be, like, exclusive forever.
Yeah. But it'd probably be a year exclusivity. Just like with Rise of the Tomb Raider, that was a year exclusivity.
Exactly. And, like, I'll get Rise of the Tomb Raider now because I'm not getting Xbox. It's just not, like, I'm sorry, Microsoft. I don't mean to, like, be disrespectful. I just... There's nothing there for me. It's just not there. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
It's fine. But yeah, so we will find out a lot more at DC Fandom about these 2 games, and then we will report back once everything's announced.
As we always do.
Yeah.
Exactly. Is there anything left on the list of topics that you wanted to bring up?
I have one little note here that says Jace needs to get a PC. Other than that, no. Don't have anything.
Yeah, I can give you a real-time update. That is not happening.
Right now.
That's not happening. Listen, we can have a whole episode discussing whether or not Jace gets a PC.
And then he eventually will.
But... like, there has to be some intrinsic value that would pay off for the foreseeable 5 years. And I don't see anything like that.
But it's a PC.
But that's not enough.
But, you can play games. A lot of them.
I get it, but that's still not enough.
So many games.
And I think that's all we have for this episode. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll tell you what, if you like what we had to say, you can follow us on Twitter. I am at Jace Rockland and Josh.
I am at JCA90. You can also find us over on Twitter at FGC Podcasts, on Instagram as FGC Podcasts, or you can email us, which I will read on my PC, at freshkeycontext@gmail.com.
And I am not getting a PC, but you can also visit our website at Fresh Geek Context for written articles, galleries, and videos, as well as visiting us on Spreaker.com. Just search for Fresh Geek Context there or on any streaming platform of your choice. It goes a long way for us to know that you're listening, and share with your friends too so they can be fresh geeks. Until next time, everybody.
Build a PC.
Not doing that.
And then tweet it at Jace.
You can tweet me all you like. It's going to be a very hard sell.
Just tweet at him all of the pictures of you building a PC. He'll eventually get one.
I watch people building PCs all the time.
And
not making me buy it.
One.
Not happening.
But then we can play all the games together.
I know, but not enough. It's got to be more.
You're the worst.
I'm the best.
I'm the best.